My name is Christopher Life Willers, y'all. And this is the Speak Dads
Elliot
Hour.
Raphael. Oh, you
Well,
got me that time.
well,
You
that
got me that
see,
time.
it's all about keeping them off guard. It's the
Mhm.
predictability that sometimes leads us into. Never mind. No, how are you doing, Mr. Elliot Raphael, aka the founder of Speak Dads, on this wonderful Christmas day?
Man, I'm doing fantastic. I've had a good day with my family. Got a few things that I've got planned. Had some real time to spend with them. So other than that, I'm really happy. How about you? How's yours going?
Man, it's been none but blessings, none but blessings. I've been working. I didn't even get a day off today, but the work was very light today. There was some things I still
Hmm.
had to check off the list, but today
Yeah.
was probably one of the most present days I've had outside of just everything. I made sure that I was very attentive, and I'm continuing
And
to
there.
appreciate. Yeah, I'm continuing to appreciate the
Yeah.
moments. Being a father, first Christmas with my son, all that good stuff, man.
Hmm.
The good stuff. And I got, as I was telling you, because I'm super, super transparent up here, guys, I was just in the best nap of my life. But we're committed to getting up here even on
Yes.
Christmas Day. If anybody
Hmm. Hmm.
knows, at the dads, I learned you get the wrapping paper, you clean up the area, you do all this stuff, and you hit the couch and it's over with.
Yeah.
If you're lucky. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Raph, see you. I appreciate you, man. Anybody, if you guys we get into this, man, if y'all got questions, please put the questions in the chat. We appreciate you. And again, happy holidays. If you don't celebrate the holidays, we still hope that you're having a super blessed day, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Hmm.
Um,
Absolutely.
2026 is coming.
Hmm. Hmm.
2026 is coming. I like I had a moment earlier where I was like, as much as I said I was present, it's all of a sudden it's like that thought, like it came across the radar. I was like, oh, 2026. I was like, oh, here we
Hmm.
go.
Hmm.
Um, I want to say this to anybody out there that's watching Speak Dads, anybody that sees this, I need you guys to be super intentional with your 2026. I typically don't make requests of people. I typically don't. But I said I wanted to get up here and just run my mouth for a second
Hmm.
about going into 2026 because listen, it's the beginning of a new year. It's an opportunity to shift some things, to make some adjustments, to make some changes. How do we do that? Discipline. Discipline is the name of the game. I'm asking everybody going into 2026, what is your level of discipline really? Versus your level
Hmm.
of excuse making, really? If it's a scale, hey, even if the excuse is
Right.
legit, you know what I'm saying?
Right. 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 Right.
Because all discipline is figuring out how to do away with the excuse, work through the excuse, right? But
Hmm.
I'm asking everybody to do an assessment of that going into 2026. I'm asking everybody, man, take a time out to write down some things, man. Like literally take a moment, because I don't know how many people do that, including myself. How many people, you know what I'm saying?
Actually, write it down.
Yeah.
I would guess maybe out of 20 people, maybe two. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe three. I would think if that, like actually spend the time like to write it down. That's like going to the gym. Everybody's in the gym for the first like 6 weeks of like the first 4 weeks of January and 2 weeks of February. And then by halfway through February, the gym's usually ghost town.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was asking, I was like, yo, yeah, how many of us are writing goals down? How many of us are keeping
Hmm.
track of things?
Hmm.
Some people make New Year's resolutions, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. Either way it goes, I just want to see people actually make progress. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Yes.
Um, Visuals help me. Sometimes it seems corny to me, right? Somebody, Laura said you write things down. That's what's up. Writing helps me. Vision
Mhm.
boards help me. It's very important to visualize something more in life going into 2026, man. The
Mhm.
scary thing is when people sometimes I have a discussion with people, and it's not I'm good with my life. It's I don't think I can have any more of my life.
Right.
And that's why I'm
Right.
speaking to anybody right now that's dealing with self doubt, anybody that's feeling like 2025 was a heck of a year. Listen, I get it. I really do. I did 17 years in prison. I came home in 2020 with less than $1,000 to my name and a Plymouth Grand Voyager. It was 1995. It smelled like fish. Nothing else. Nothing else. I got GED. That's it. 1,000 felonies. You
Right.
know. But I had discipline though, and I had a plan. and I had a list. I came home with a notebook, Elliot, notebook about this thick, and I would write down for years before I came home all the things I wanted to do, down to like
Okay.
frivolous things, down to like TV shows that I wanted
Why
to see.
not? Yeah.
Right. But I had to learn that, man. You know what I'm saying? Do you have a process? The question is, we're getting ready to go into 2026. You're the
Hmm.
founder of this platform, which I started with a
Hmm.
vision. Do you have a process going into 2026 when it comes to like setting goals or accomplishing things? What does that look like?
All right. Well, for me, one of the things. Well, thank you. First of all, I like what you're saying. One of the things I do is I do make an effort to write stuff down. I've got several notebooks, and anything that I've planned to do, I have. For me, I normally have many projects going on at once. So I try to make sure that I'm at least making progress here, here, and here in a few of them. And by that, like when I write down my goals, I'm like, all right, cool. If it's a 10-step process to be able to achieve the goal that I want for something to be completed, I know when I'm going to have step three done by. Does that make sense? And try
Yeah,
to
no
give
question.
myself, and here's why I give myself more time than I should and more time to get it wrong is because I factor in if I'm going to get it wrong. My hope is to always be running ahead of my schedule. But I know that if I'm behind my schedule, then I've wildly failed myself in many ways. So part of my accountability system goes, I know that if it's 5 days a week, what happens if it only happens four? Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Not because I don't want to do the five or because I don't want to do six, but because I want to know at the very least, I'm committing to setting up this, this, and this, and no less than that. And while that requires me to do more, it's better than doing what I was doing, and it still gives me a stopgap in between the ready, because I'll find myself ready to punish myself for
hmm,
being imperfect. So instead of that, I'm determined to keep showing up. So even if I think it's showing up badly or doing it the wrong way, a lot of times, social media, for example, has shown me, if nothing else, that there are times when I think it's the absolute wrong way and people love it.
right.
So the right or the wrong may not be what you think it is. But at least if you go in and you show up and you make the entry, that's one thing that I don't tolerate is not making the effort. Regardless of the outcome, you go out there, swing for the fences because your best isn't going to be the same every day. No matter how good you are, your best may not be the exact same every day. It hopefully gets better and better, but eventually, if we're not going to be perfect, that best is going to wane a little bit in one or two areas. It might go higher in others and maintain being high in consistency. But I want to look at the whole person, and I want to make sure that I'm finding areas to keep working on, but also areas that I know that there's no excuse to not do better in. And so I
Yeah,
find myself with those smaller goals setting it that way.
yeah. For me, and Kay, answer is yes. Message me. I got to go to California next month. And I would love to come to the juvenile center. Um, to me, I'm like set the bar, no excuses.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
the reason I'm not set the bar, it's okay if you miss a day. Me
Hmm.
is because then I'm gonna think it's okay if I miss another day.
Right.
And in reality, if I'm really trying to shift some things, I probably can't miss no days. And
Right.
I probably shouldn't have the mindset that it's okay.
Right.
So I'm just a little, I don't know if I'm extreme. I don't know, man. Because when you said you don't punish yourself, the immediate thing I ask myself is, do I punish myself when I'm off mark? I might do.
Well, here's the thing. I'm usually the justifier for me to think that four is okay instead of five isn't because I want to generate that all is lost. It's because I want to be sure of why I'm doing the five. But I also want to know what that four looks like so that I'm sure when I'm like, oh yeah, this is looks like this is what 80% looks like. That's not 100. We didn't come to do not 100. But you have to be aware of the difference of what that not showing up looks like so that you're aware for yourself. Because I believe part of really working to be better is owning every part of what you do. Like, man, like somebody told me no lazy hashtags. So
Right.
I want to make sure that I'm on top of my hashtags. But even if you're on top of them, you're still going to get some of that wrong. So in my mind, you're a four out of a five for that portion of it. Even if you were showing up every time, like you say, or like somebody said, hey, do five and do these five each time. part of
Okay, you're
that
saying even if
willingness.
you show up, got you.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I
You
give
got to show
myself
up.
credit if I show up, even if it's an off day.
Okay.
If I'm exhausted, which 9 times out of 10 I am, and I gotta go hit the treadmill and I gotta go do some weights or whatever,
Mhm.
and I push myself anyway. Because I think like when I'm on this topic of discipline, right? I talk to a lot of people, they want to change their lives. I want to change my life. I look in the mirror, hey, I want to change my life. Whatever it is, right?
Mhm.
The answer is always discipline. There's no way around it. Like there's not, you can't watch a motivation video. You can't
Right.
hang out
Right.
with somebody that's highly inspired. Like,
Not a smoothie.
right, right. You have to pick the hardest thing to do. Probably 9 times out of 10. Like if you want something to change, if you're dissatisfied with something in your life or something, or you want something more, you're probably going to do something you don't want to do. It's probably going to
Absolutely.
be a struggle process.
It every time it is.
It's never good. It's not fun. I wish broccoli tasted like Skittles.
Right. It's
You know
never.
what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. It's
I
never.
wish I would, like, real talk. I'm 42 and I get up at, 3, 4, well, yeah, 3, 4 every morning still.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm still like, I gotta go hit the weights. This is after 12 hours of work because I start working after I feed
Mhm.
my son. I'm not stopping till after 4. And really, I'm
Mhm.
not stopping till closer to 7. And then I'm like, I still gotta go to the, and it's like torture to me. But I know that if I do the things that are like torturing me, but it's good, this is where I win. This is where I
Mhm.
win. Because again, I'm only talking about me. I will come up with every excuse in the world. I used to be somebody that was self-sabotage, the best situation. You talking about somebody that messed up. I could have been a totally different human being in this life if it weren't my mastery ability of messing up all that was good and well. I'm trying to hey, look, I'm trying to
I
tell you,
done
I
messed
was
up
supposed
some very nice opportunities
right.
through nobody else's fault but
You
my
know
own.
what I'm
I
saying?
can't blame anybody else. Nah, I got the ball and then I got it wrong, terribly wrong.
And there's a lot of fellas that are hurting and kind of stuck because of that
Mhm.
fact or whatever it is, right? Um, I'm gonna tell you, anxiety is the fear of, you know what I'm saying? The
Mhm.
accountability piece, the accountability piece that comes with this. There's so many different varying factors, but yo, that's what I
Mhm.
was that was what was on my mind. I'm like, yo, 2026 is coming. What are the next
Mhm.
goals? What am I gonna accomplish? I want more, but I'm
Yes.
exhausted. So I know it's gonna require something. I'm exhausted, man. If you guys got goals, man, put them in the chat, man.
Regulation and pattern help.
What break that down?
So like regulation, like at least a system of not being too high or too low, like a system of being able to know where something is. Like that for me, that's when you hear that what happens if I do four, not five, right? So like I'll try to make time. In an ideal world, I have time to work out 5 days a week. In an ideal world, I also, well, I can have time to work out 5 days a week and work two or three jobs and be present for four kids and my wife. And I'm not knocking anybody's anything. I'm just
Right.
saying you're what happens to a lot of people, or at least myself and some other people that I know,
Mhm.
is when you can't do it 5 days a week, all of a sudden you're like, oh, well, I might as well not do it anymore.
No,
And
that's
that's how
real.
you end up gaining 50, 60 pounds.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like, all
that.
right,
That was
cool.
me. That was me in
You know what I mean?
2021.
Yeah, I got the photos to prove it. I got receipts, bro. You know what I mean? And so what I found was, hey, you may not be able to do it 5 days a week, but you could do it four. And you may not be able to show up and do the world's best workout, but you can show up and at least do some workout. And that part of being willing to maintain that is how you break the pattern. Now you start improving upon that, but you get four full, not five full workouts. You still got a week of working out that you've gotten in there that's really good for you. And for me, that's a requirement. When it comes to success or goals that I have, there's certain things that I do, but I'm very careful about what I add into my day every single day. You know what I mean? And so finding a way to make sure that I'm able to do that, like I said, like to have like a system, you know what I'm saying, and be able to maintain it is huge for anything. Because people want to make these big changes and they cross off 10 things, and if they don't stay away from 10 of them, they fail their whole diet forever. It's not like that. That's like you're talked about self-sabotage. There is a gray area sometimes, at
I've
least in
talked.
progress.
I've talked to some people though that are kind of like what you fit, and as far as what you just broke down. Like they'll have very strict regimen. A lot of stuff
Mhm.
probably us normal human beings wouldn't do every single day. But the guy's network was
Right.
he had something bigger. What's bigger than a boat? Is it a I don't know, but
I think it's a yacht, but don't start me lying. But I think it's a
right.
yacht.
And then I was thinking about guys like Mark Wahlberg. They did a story about Mark
Mhm.
Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg says he gets up at some like I think he gets up at like 3 in the morning, does 5 billion workout, whatever. Like
Mhm.
there's a thing that's trending on social media. I don't even know if this guy does anything other than this. It's this guy, he gets up, he shows his routine. It's like the day in the life. He
Mhm.
does all these, you know,
Yeah.
what I am learning, especially as I get older, is that time management and routine are two things that successful people have. I'm not, if not mastered, they got it down to it because they can do six things at one time because they have to. If
Mhm.
you're at a certain level, like you're probably not gonna ever retire. Maybe you will. Maybe you'll trust somebody one day to run whatever you built up. But more than likely, you're moving multiple pieces and you're still
Mhm.
creating, and you got multiple enterprises.
Yeah.
Time management is great, but
Excuse me.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna really reflect on that thought though, because I might be one of them people. I'll beat myself up if I miss a mark. I'll sit
Okay.
in here, but I do got ADHD
Well,
though.
here,
Hey,
right here, and
something.
that's why I go 4 out of 5 because I'll be running in 16 different ways, and I'm like, all right, cool. Wait a minute, I can't do 5 out of 5 on all these today, but I can do most of them. At least make some progress. And that way I'm trying to, yeah, man, that's why I'm trying to, do all this and figure out how to make a headboard for my wife. And you know what I mean, just got a sander for Christmas, and you know what I mean, blah 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 blah
Right.
blah. Which are all things that come together, but and they're all things that are individually important and that matter and are good for me and for my mental health. If I frame it around my mental health and I look at it from a different perspective,
Hmm.
then I can tell you that every single day I prioritize my mental health, communication, and being able to have a space to breathe, and
I
doing the best I can to have that.
I do not prioritize. I prioritize communication. I
Mhm.
do not prioritize space to breathe. And what was the first one?
Mental health.
I don't prioritize. I don't prioritize mental health the way that I did.
Okay,
I'm,
well,
I'm
here's
on point. I go to support group every week. I'm
I
doing.
don't mean like that. No, 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 no. I mean like you say, get up in the morning, have a routine, get your coffee, you know
Uh,
what I mean? Okay, that to me is mental health.
oh well, in that case,
You know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
when I
I
when
got one
I'm
of them.
I'm saying, I'm not saying like crisis. That's one thing. Like a lot of times, like with guys, we always, you know what I mean, when we hear like
Mm,
mental health. I mean like
I
just
wasn't saying
have
crisis.
no,
I
no, I'm
think
saying like just
a lot of
just
people for mental
having,
health they go to support groups. They go to,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
That's normal. But
I mean, like living normal, like, hey, get up, get my stuff done, bop, 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 bop. I'm a partner. So one of the things I know is I want to communicate with my partner and with my family some, because otherwise I could be so busy in my own thought that I don't say anything until I'm 3 pages into a conversation, and then say something else and be like, what do you think? And they're like, we don't know what you're talking about. You haven't said anything. You know what I mean?
my
So
mental
I,
health
I
is the opposite. My mental health is getting in the car and driving down the road without them with the music off and the windows down. I like that white noise. I need that silence. I love my family, but I'm one of them guys. You know how them dads be sitting in the garage? I got a
Mhm.
garage that's already starting to get
do
set up.
you get silence like every day?
I go find silence.
Every
If I
day?
don't, yeah, because I've
What did
got.
you say about a safe space? Same difference.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, safe space to
Or
me
like a
is
space to breathe.
that's not to me because you safe space we could have different definitions. Safe space to me
Okay.
is I used to go to the I was used to be part of this community of veterans. It's just really good, man. It's really wholesome. It was just we were able to connect in different ways. That was a really safe space for me. My home is a safe space. So I mean I could label that as a put a label on that.
Yeah.
But I mean, for me, and I encourage anybody, especially the fellas, man, because of the mental health aspect, go find safe spaces. Because there's a
Mhm.
part of me that's really uncomfortable when people think that they don't need support groups and different things like that. Makes me nervous. It really does.
Yeah.
And anybody, it's not extreme, y'all. It's not extreme. Like, it's a very normal thing, by the way. Therapy is a very normal thing. Probably everybody you know that's successful has a therapist. If they don't, they're out their mind without any type of, you know what I'm saying? And the
Or
therapist,
they have a coach that's a therapist,
right?
or they have a, you know what I mean?
Right.
They
They
got
got
a
a
sex
pastor,
coach.
they got a therapist. Somebody
Mhm.
is if they don't, if they're talking, I don't do none of that, they're tripping. They're lying. They are
Mhm.
they are out their mind. Well, they might not be lying. They gonna explode one of these days. I'm telling
Mhm.
you, man.
Mhm.
Appreciate that. You said somebody said, oh, true discipline. What is the definition of well, we kind of already broke down. What is the definition of discipline going into 2026? Doing things you don't want to do as if you love them. That's it.
Pretty much.
Not making excuses. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Making
No.
sure there's a cause for impact. Um, let's shift over for a second, man. It's
Mhm.
2025 coming to an end, but
Mhm.
New Year's isn't here yet. Today was Christmas. Um, you good? I've been asking dads, like, are y'all good? Like, I see it different now. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Like, yeah.
It's
Well, like, yes.
You got
I'm,
four
I,
kids. I can't imagine, bro. I
yeah,
salute. I
man.
got partners got 4 or 5 kids, great fathers. I'm talking
Mhm.
about. I got one. I don't know. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? One is good with me. I
Yeah.
feel like I can just focus on him.
Yes.
That's
It's
too. That's a
easy.
lot of moving parts. That's money. That's
Mhm.
that's.
Mhm. A ton of moving parts. It's I'll put it to you like this. Yes, I am good. Thank you for asking. One thing that I find is like when you so my understanding of value changed, right?
Yeah.
So what brings me peace and reasonability, um, and that's probably a pretty wide definition, are things that I focus on. So I'm determined to have balance in 2026. And one thing that I'm determined to do in 2026 is date my wife. I want to do a better job of dating my wife because let me tell you something. Being the father of 4 kids is cool, but it's easy to not spend as much time. And I got to
Oh.
like we went to do like our staff Christmas party.
Hmm.
Um, shout out to the company that I worked for at that. Went to staff. See, keeping it PG, all platforms, and right, and did that, and then we went out and saw a concert a few days later, and it was like, this is the person that I picked. We haven't had time to hang out and spend time. You know what I mean? To really like go out, just she and I, not with the babies, not with.
I've talked to guys and they like their relationships were over once they had kids.
And it is too, right? But like, here's the thing.
They're
I
like, it's
still like
changed forever.
her. Yeah, here's the deal, right? I still like her. I just don't get to see her that often. But I still like her. You know what I mean? And like when you have kids, you can be there for them and just naturally drift apart. So one of
Right.
the things, especially talking to guys like I do and listening to them, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of the things that I really am determined to make sure to do in 2026 is find space for us to be able to do stuff. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Even if it's just little dumb stuff. Yeah. How about you? What's one thing you're working? What's one thing you're keeping in going in 2026?
My discipline for sure. Not to be that. That's. I'm gonna pick something else besides my discipline.
Okay. Thank you. Because I was getting ready to ask you. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm with you on discipline because I
I'm
love.
bringing. I'm.
I,
I'm bringing. I mean, I'm fired up. I'm ready for
but let me
2026.
tell you something though. But I love that about you. Like, there's a math to that.
Yeah. There's a math.
Yeah.
I got things. I got things I got to check off and aspirations.
Yeah.
Some big aspirations. So I know the level of discipline. Well,
Right.
I think I know the level of discipline because I'm getting ready to climb a few mountains and I haven't been to the top of those yet. So I'll see what's going on the way up there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
aside from that, my heart, man. My heart is the key to all of my successes. Like,
Okay.
I'm known. It was funny. The brothers we were talking earlier. He's like, bro, you've always been a good guy, not a nice guy. Like, we'll know you'll run in our house and pull our kids out the fire, but you're probably not gonna hang out and wave at everybody, at the parade. And
Right.
yeah, that's me, man. You know, but
Okay.
yeah, and but I bring that authenticity into this thing, right? There's a war going on, and we don't need the howdy doodies and the bunch of
Right.
guys in 2026. I'm sorry, we don't.
Right.
We
I agree.
need we need we need
I
soldiers on the
agree.
front line. So
I agree.
um, I'm bringing my heart into 2026. People, for everything that I do is the purpose. It's always been the people, which has been my
Mhm.
success and which has sustained me. So that's part of my heart as well. When I say that,
Mhm.
it's not just the I'm ready to take on, because there's so much evil in this world, man. There's so much corruption. There's so much, even in the lane
Man,
that I'm in. I'm in
boy,
a advocacy field where there's supposed to be
you
people
it's
that's helping people, and it's a lot
yeah,
of
man.
foolishness.
There's some okay, let's speak on it. There's a few times you run into people and they're like, "Hey, so what is my like I completely misunderstood. I apologize, sir." You know what I mean? Like that was you sold me and congratulations because I don't buy often. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's
yeah,
like
yeah,
well done, buddy. You know what I mean? Like I well done. And that difference, yeah, no, absolutely. I
yeah.
think that's a big part of it.
I got it on my shoulder, man. I guess I got a chip on my shoulder or whatever. Um, I got some things that I want to put in place for the youth out here in Atlanta. I want to do some
Mhm.
work. I'm working with the Skid Row organization out there in Los Angeles. So there's things, and the work that I do, yo, we going against evil stuff, man. I'm out there in Skid Row and we're just passing out, we're just feeding people for Thanksgiving, and you got
Mhm.
people, dealers are just looking at us crazy, like, yo, you trying to interfere with our business. And
Right.
um, man. So
Yeah.
I'm a fireman, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you ever been to the fire, you know how to put the fire out, and you can't
Hmm.
do it alone, man. So shout out to all the
No.
advocates and people that are in outreach, people that are trying to help people from a sincere
Hmm.
place, that aren't just
Hmm.
looking at opportunities of business and
Right. Right.
notoriety and all this other stuff, man. Because there's a lot of
Right.
ugly stuff going on in the world, man. You can't
Shout
be,
out to the people that feed and don't post.
yeah.
The people
It's
the people that are doing it without posting on social media, shout out to you.
Man, it's not even that. There's people one of the guys, shout out to Dr. Barber, man. He posts all the time, and he's the Goodwill ambassador of Georgia after doing 10 years in prison, and he did a doctorate, or
Nice.
he's got an honorary doctorate. So I don't know if it's about posting or not posting. I think that there's people that are
There's a
acting like,
difference in the posting. You know what I mean?
well, I know people that aren't posting that are some of the most crooked in the world. They're taking money from communities, grants, and sectors. So again,
Boy,
this
yeah.
is work that I know well. I don't think I know plenty of sincere people that post. They generate funds for people. So again, I disagree with you respectfully. I've
I
seen both
I
sides
but
of it,
I know, but here's what I'm saying. I know plenty of people that post, and it's the only time they're doing it is when they post, and that's it.
and I know plenty of people that don't, that are taking money from grants and out of
Oh,
people's, and doing
don't get me
cookouts
started.
and acting like it's,
I've seen it on the church that are ways
yeah.
that I do not
It's
endorse. Yes,
it's too easy to sit there and because
yes.
if I look at everywhere, and there's some corruption everywhere, right?
No matter
Um,
what.
so again, shout out to my fellow social media influencers that do
Hmm.
post and that are
Hmm.
generating. One brother just generated $220,000 for a
Nice,
homeless family that had been living in a
nice.
car for 2 years, a pastor, and he wouldn't have been able to do it without social media. So I would
That
love to
part.
have a debate with you on that, and you've just opened the door,
Oh,
whether you know it or
oh
not.
no,
On behalf
we are
of my
not going to debate that. Well, you and
on
I
behalf
agree
of
on the
my
idea of the right party people doing it. What we
on
don't agree is on
behalf
the ones doing it the
of
wrong
my
way.
content creators. I see y'all with the hundreds in the chat. I appreciate y'all. Whoa, hey, we gonna have debates up here starting
Listen, I agree.
next Thursday. No, somebody said, oh, they said they seen it both ways. If it's not beneficial, it's artificial, regardless of platform or eyes. Um,
That part. That
yeah,
part. That exactly is what I'm saying.
yeah, because I know pastors in the church, and I'm a Christian. They don't post nothing, but they robbing from the church left and right.
Agreed.
Yeah. I'm
Agreed.
just saying, man. I go all day, man. I go all day. Listen, um, what you got anything on your mind before I got another topic and another question somebody asked, but I wanted to.
No, go ahead.
All right, next topic and question, because we're still talking about are you okay after Christmas, and you were talking about
Mhm.
um dating, which was key. You're talking about with your relationship and all that. Let me
Mhm.
ask you something, man. Going into 2026, is there anything, any changes that you want to make as an individual when it comes specifically to parenting? And I don't know if that's the correct question, or adjustments or anything, or being a husband.
Of course.
Are there?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I
I,
feel
I think
guilty.
that, well,
No, I'm just playing.
everybody
I
takes it.
definitely got stuff I need to say. I
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
got
Like, I'm
stuff
like, all
I need
right.
if you think you ain't got nothing to change, boy.
I'm like, I am mad at you. Listen, I'm not even mad at you for misunderstanding me about people misusing posting and feeding people,
No,
but we're definitely not going to be. I'm like, whoa,
my list may be
like,
longer than
whoa.
yours. I don't know.
Yeah.
All jokes
No,
aside.
I think, okay. So one of the things that in parenting, one thing I'm doing in parenting is making sure to take more time to process it myself and hope that I can teach my son that as well. I believe that teaching my children that as a whole is really important. I think that if you want them to be people that are that have some self control at some level, you're going to have to model that. And I want to make sure that I'm doing a good job of modeling that really well. That's one thing as a parent that I want to make sure that I'm doing, and I'm sure that that's something I can work on. Your kids are always watching you, so I think if you're
Yo, I don't
earnest
want
about
to
it,
flip out like, oh, like in front of my
you know what
kid.
I
I
mean?
know, like it's
Like,
probably somebody's gonna stress me out, cut me off, or something. But I'm thinking about it as you're saying that. That's one of my, yeah,
mhm. Yeah. And you have those moments of trying to, and that also trickles into like how to handle your spouse or ever arguing or you know what I mean, misunderstandings
right,
there as well. Yeah,
right.
because it turns out, yeah,
Yeah, especially like when they can
yeah,
understand your argument and make. Well, I mean, I haven't been here yet, obviously, but I can only imagine like
they can
kids are
feel it.
there, and maybe y'all
Even if
didn't
they don't have
discuss
the words, even if they don't have the words, they
body
understand just because they don't
language.
say it. Yeah, they get it. They get the whole because all they do is watch you, and you're very important in their lives, so they're going to watch you and watch mama, 100%. So yeah, I definitely want to make sure that I'm doing a good job of all of those things and standing on that stage in front of five people all the time. You know what I mean? Yeah, of course. I've got some places I wish I made
That's
better
an
calls or
audience. That's
yeah,
an
or had a
audience.
better showing. Yeah, of course, bro.
It's a smaller audience
365
over
days in a year. Yeah, I've
easier
got a few
crowd over
times.
here. Less people, easier
Yeah, like
crowd.
that's all I'm saying. Like it's just like there's a part where like looking at how to move forward with it means you have to look at least for me, meant looking at both. Okay, I believe this little dog needs to go out. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I do apologize.
No, you
Come
good,
here,
man.
girl.
So we're talking about here on Speak Dads, man. In case you don't know, it's a platform that's dedicated to supporting individuals, man, men, mentors, etc. Or if you got a fella in your life and you want to be a part of the conversation, we definitely appreciate you. We're talking about mental health. We're talking about the holidays. Merry Christmas to each and every one of y'all. And we're talking about moving into 2026 intentionally, right? That was how we opened up. What is your game plan? What is the specifics? And here goes Mr. Elliot Raphael back. I'm gonna go ahead and so he can pick up where he left off.
All right, so specific. One thing that I'm doing is I am spending more time in direct and intentional prayer with my wife.
That's one of my things I need to work on.
You know what I mean? Even if it's just 30 seconds. And one thing I really I was raised in the church, and
Mhm.
so prayer is second nature to me in many ways. Not that
Mhm.
I don't have a lot to work on,
Right.
um, uh, because I do. Um, but one of the things I realize is going in prayer with my wife doesn't mean that she has to match and do exactly what I do. So it's like, all right, cool. We're going to pray real quick. You can pray in your head. You pray however. That's between you and God. I'm going to pray out loud, and that's me communicating. But just having that space, I feel gives a better grounding to the day, and a better kind of reminder of what we're doing and why we're doing it. How
Yeah.
about you? What's one that you want to do differently, or that you're doing with yours?
I mean, I need to pray more overall. Like
Okay.
not praying on the run. Like I pray all the time. It's like on the run, which is cool. You know, prayer is good, but I want to be more intentional. Like set up time to as part of my meditation or part of my hike or
Okay.
whatever. Um, what else do I want to work on, man? Because I'm saying like as far as priority, I've got a list, but I maybe frivolous to some, but I want to stop cussing altogether. I'll still drop a F bomb every now and then. It'll fly out here. Prior military, prison, all that. Yeah, I don't want to cuss no more, man. I'm a motivational speaker. Now, when I walk in the rooms, you'll think I never cuss, right? And I tell people, the audience, hey, if you catch me out here, you might hear a cuss, but I want to be all the way, what they call a straight arrow. I want to be
Shout out to
PG.
Sal.
I did, who is he? He don't cuss or none, right? You said
He was my
that's what
groomsman at my wedding. He said to me one day, he's
I
like,
want
"Hey,
to be
E
like,
man,"
man.
he's like, listen, with all the work you're doing and you're trying to
Right?
you're working on leading guys, man. Like,
Yes.
hey, you're
I
better
feel
than cussing and
crazy,
better than you know what I mean. No, like
and
that.
I don't want my
Okay.
son to pick it up, not from me. If you're gonna pick it up from the world, and I try to protect you,
Hmm.
eventually you're gonna hear an F bomb. But I don't want to perpetuate. I don't
Right.
want to.
It
There's
doesn't
so
want
many.
to. The way that you communicate doesn't have to be the way that he learns to do it the wrong way. Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna tell you the other thing. I grew up. And I think we had this conversation on one. I grew up with a dad, four uncles, like mask. There's issues. Y'all go fight in the front yard. The cousins.
Right.
It was
Right.
like testosterone fuel. Just um,
Yeah.
and that's not always good because
No.
I didn't have a high level of emotional intelligence for like a good portion of my life, which is part of the reason I ended up in prison. And it's not
Yeah.
anything on my people, man. My family, you just don't know, right? You grow up, listen, uncles from Mexico, man.
Bro,
Man,
here's the thing. People can do the best they can at what they can or
right.
don't with
Good
whatever it is.
intentions.
They do the best they can. They love you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good intentions, bro. But,
Yeah.
so I don't want my son to think that I want him to have high level emotional intelligence, right?
Hmm.
Um, and I'm working on that now. Like I'm reading and I'm understanding how when he's crying, like the reason that you pick him up and skin to skin, like how it's
Yeah.
regulating his emotional response system. Yeah, I'm learning. You proud of
Yeah. Of
look,
course.
Elliot's proud of me
Yeah.
right now. I'm doing
Yeah. I'm very proud of
my
you, brother.
I'm doing my homework.
I'm
Listen,
telling you, bro, it'll teach you about like, you know
yeah,
what I mean? Like, yeah.
I don't want him that. I don't want him to be. I want my son to come up in such an environment where he feels safe, where he can be him. If he's watching the show, he cry. He don't feel like he gotta hide it. If he's touched by it or whatever.
Hmm.
Which by the way, I seen a freaking post that had me livid. I don't know if I told you about it. So this guy gets up here. I'm a boy dad.
Yeah.
Anybody watch this? I'm a boy dad. First
Me
time
too.
father at 42. Elliot's got a boy. He's also got three daughters. You got four. You got a
Hmm.
tribe, right?
Yeah. A small army.
But this guy, he says he doesn't hug his son. He doesn't show his son any affection at all. Like they were, and I'm hoping like this was like social media, but like he gives his son's daps. Like his son daps. He don't give him hugs. He don't kiss him on the forehead. He don't pull him in. "Hey, what you doing?" Like no type of like fatherly. Because he said it's weird, bro. Because he said that a man ain't supposed to be. This is what he said. A man ain't supposed to be showing affection to his son because, listen, man, my son, I kiss him on his stomach, his feet. He's 7 weeks old. That's my baby. Listen. He is the cutest thing ever in the
Yeah.
history of the planet Earth. He's so. I think he's serious, bro. It had me livid though because there were guys in the comments agreeing with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's what messes people up. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't, okay. You know what?
I read it. I read it like 3, 4 times.
Yeah. All right. So here's the thing, right? Let me start by saying if that's how you choose to raise your son, that is your choice with your
Right.
son.
Right.
Okay. Now, let me also say that's also not how I choose to raise my son, how I recommend raising a child, how I think is a good idea. Um, but I also know that given the amount of trauma or awareness or willingness to want to protect your son, and that's how you enact that, maybe there's a whole logic behind that. So
Don't know what he's been through.
yeah, like there's a reason you're going that hard. And given what I
That's
know
true.
of statistics of men and certain traumas, Sure, 1 in 3 agrees with you online that it's great to be rigid with your son and show him no affection because that's super weird. Yeah, all right, bro. Affection means different things to different people. You might have had an uncle that was too affectionate. You know what
Right,
I mean? Like, so you're like,
right.
I'm never going to be like that with my kid.
Because it's
Or
boundaries for sure, but to
yeah.
say like
So
you're not gonna, yeah, I can see that,
ever
but it
though,
could be.
that's wild. Like that's. I mean, I don't know what the guy's been through. I'm not. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's a lot. That's a
I
whole lot.
I remember every traumatic thing. Like there's a point I was telling my therapist this one time. I could say it out loud now. I remember for the most part every traumatic thing a male had done to me in my life. Like it none of these things were blanked out. Well, that I know of were blanked out. I guess if I don't remember, I wouldn't remember. But like I remember, like I was sitting here Christmas Day, and I was thinking about something really random, but not random, that was very traumatic when I was about 11, 12 years old at a
Mhm.
neighbor's house later on in the day at Christmas. And yo, the impact that us as men have on our sons or little boy or whatever it is, because they're always watching, man. And I don't want anybody to misread the situation. I'm talking about at the neighbor's house. It wasn't as drastic or severe as what some people go through, but yo, it was super traumatizing. You know what I'm saying? Something
Mhm.
violent happened there that day, and me and my friend were there, and it was just, and we don't understand like the true impact, man, that we have on
Right.
people. So excuse me, on youth, especially young men,
No.
babies, young boys. Very, and I heard something when you said that emotional intelligence, or you said you want to be an example. You said your son specifically
Hmm.
in the midst of that. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And I just
Yeah.
think it's extremely, man. We're at that time right now where, we got to protect. We got to protect our daughters too. Don't get twisted. We're not saying don't protect the daughters, but we're just
Of
saying
course not.
we got to protect the little boys too, man. For the longest, there
Yeah.
hasn't been enough focus on the traumas that they're going through, because
Hmm.
little boys end up in prison or other places, man, that go through trauma.
Hmm.
Usually,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So that's it, man. I just a lot of my mind. That post was so weird to me, bro. And then I don't
It,
know. Again, as the internet go, I know I was defending all the internet people earlier, but some of us are very extremely weird and doing things for just for views.
that's
I
that.
don't know if he was.
Here's the thing, right? The reviews, the people for just reviews is
Mhm.
what I mean.
No,
Whether
I know
it's
what you're
whether,
saying.
but like the weirdo thing, like with the kids, like here's the thing, like you I believe you. It's your job to show your son what positive male affection does look like so that he understands what a boundary looks like. If the first time he ever
Wow.
gets an acceptable hug is from a stranger that decides to be a pervert, guess what? You've paved the road with gold, whether you realize it or not. We're
Yeah,
not doing that, bro. And hug my man, hug my son, kiss him on the cheek, give me some sugar, all the kisses in the world. Yeah, man. The world will get cold soon enough.
yeah, man.
And yeah,
Tripped me out though, bro.
yeah,
It tripped me out, and I'm
yeah.
with you. I understand the part where you're saying you got to let people raise their kids how they raise their kids. Obviously, right? You can't.
Plus, dudes will say that on the internet and then go home. That's like dudes online are like, I'll never let my girl talk to me
Right.
like that. And
And then
get
they
offline,
getting
they're like, pardon
dogged.
me, baby, could I please? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Getting drugged. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every night. Yeah. So it happens. It definitely happens.
It's tough times, man.
Oh yeah.
It's like I'm just sitting here again, and I'm just if I ever I'm find that post and send it to you, so you
Yeah,
can see
please do.
the whole
Yeah.
context of it. Um, I don't know. The next thing I want to ask, man, any anxieties looming for 2026? Anything that you're like, I don't know, man, this might be crazy. Is it anything that any anxieties that you're fighting against,
For-
I think would be a
Okay.
better in
I
2020.
got, well, let's see. My oldest is going into high school.
Oh wow. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like my middle is still in middle. My littles are still little. They might do a little bit, you know what I mean? But they're still too little to have to worry about any of that in
Right.
2026.
Right.
But my oldest in high school, of course, you know what I mean? Like she's a
How do
genuine
you
kid.
my
Huh?
fault. how do you approach certain conversations? I don't know, and keep in
Yeah,
mind, I don't know what
I'm
age you have certain. I'm just thinking high school years now. You're
yeah,
they got 18-year-old kids in the school too. How do
yeah.
you approach the conversations? Is it timing? Do you wait for something? You don't wait for certain things to happen, of course, but I guess what is the process?
Okay, first of all, stumble through it.
Stumble through.
This yeah, you know what? No, that might be the only time. It might be the only time I speak to some of these people. If you have kids, stumble through it. Stumble through it. Do it badly. Okay. Be the bull in the china shop that's asking questions the wrong way. Start with the statement of intent, like, I don't know how to do this perfect. I'm trying to do it well, and be present. Let me
To
tell
your
you something.
child. You'll say that out
To
loud to your
your
child.
child,
That's
to your
powerful.
child, be corny with them. You know what I mean? But let them know it matters to me. I don't, listen, I'm not going to pretend like I know everything that's going on with my kid's life or their social life, or that their lingo is mine, or any of those things.
Right.
What I do know is this: they know I love them, they know I care. And I'm going to stumble through being present. And even if they tell me it's none of your business, I'm going to be like, hey, look, so this is me talking to you saying I'm present. Now, if you don't want to use that time, that's your call. But I'm saying I have this time and I'd like to share it with you. You know what I mean? Because sometimes I know they need to say no a few times, but I'm going to say this as plainly as possible: there's not a wrong way to let your child know genuinely that you're present and willing to be there for them as you can be.
I'm about to bounce a couple of questions off you because now I'm thinking about things I never had to think about before.
Mhm.
Like I'm assuming, I don't know this to be true. Does your child that's getting ready to go in high school, does she have a cell phone?
Mhm.
So how do you guys as parents navigate the internet as far as somebody that's still young?
Okay.
Internet is
T-
is crazy, you know.
Internet's crazy. Internet's
Right.
absolutely crazy.
Is there
I,
parental? You guys putting parental guidance up there? You look searching the phones. What's
I
you
go
just
through a phone. I randomly go through a phone, period. It's
do
not
you tell her or do you
negotiation.
just I'm sorry, I'm not gonna tell him either though. I'm gonna
Here's okay.
I didn't
Listen,
mean to laugh
if
because
y'all
I'm not
ever meet
telling him
me,
either.
I'm gonna share with
I
you,
don't
right?
have
Like, yeah, I'm not, this is not a democracy. It is not a negotiation. If I have to ask my child twice for that phone, it'll be the last time we talk about it for a very long time,
You'll
because I
never
won't
have
have
a
to
phone
worry.
again. You have a
Yeah.
pager.
Yeah, like I'm not,
Yeah.
but I'm very respectful. I don't, here's what I know. If you police them too hard, they'll just flat rebel.
That's
So
what I'm saying, bro.
there's some aspects of it that I'm gonna let you get. I got some ground rules and some boundaries, some things that
Okay.
aren't going to come up, some conversations. Now, when it comes to girls, I have a rule called no weird moments.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So here's what that means: that means like knock before entering. And if I ever need to say something
Yeah,
about
for
any
sure.
arena that might be misunderstood, I'm like, hey, no weird moments. I'm not discussing that. I'm just saying in the aspect of, you know what I mean? So,
Hmm.
like when I talk to my daughter, I'm like, well, now that you are physically capable of, you know what I mean,
Hmm.
that portion of life, my advice switches to you. It's different than how I talk to your 11-year-old little sister.
That's what I said.
However,
When do you introduce those types of conversations? Are you paying attention to
oh,
what's going
early.
on?
Oh, yeah, no,
Or
no, no. If you don't, no, 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 no. Here's a rule. If you don't tell them, then they will learn at school.
so like I'm just like 11, 12,
10,
10.
9.
Yeah. We're talking about birds and bees conversation.
Yeah, what? Yeah, oh, we
I
are
don't
definitely
know.
at,
I don't know. I
yeah,
never
it's
thought about
going
it. I've
down.
never had to
It's
listen. I'm the
going
uncle. I'm the
down, bro.
godfather.
Yeah.
I've never had to have
Eight
these
years old,
conversations.
8, 9 years old,
That's never
nine,
been.
9 at, okay.
That's scary.
I
You know
have a
what?
son and a daughter,
Is
and it'll be my job to tell them, and I
is
will explain to them how that works. By the time they're 10 years old,
is
they
that
will
a
have an understanding of that.
2026 thing, or is it like it wasn't like, bro? I'm not. I wasn't. Well, maybe y'all were. I wasn't moving like that at 9, 10 years old.
Right.
Maybe I was a
But
late.
here
I was a late bloomer or whatever.
but here's the difference. No matter how we were moving at 9 or 10 years old, there are other kids that are.
And that was the part that got me because nobody had the conversation directly with me. And I'm not talking about just that part. I'm talking about like about peer pressure. Like the
Hmm.
conversations I would have with my parents were reactive. I think that they
Hmm.
were. I don't want to say naive because I was a good kid. I was good,
Hmm.
get grade wise. I played sports, but they probably assumed that there wasn't really too many negative influences around me. And the truth of the matter is, we lived in Chicago, so no
Oh,
harm
I'm
to do
assuming none of
that.
that. No, we have no. We having the conversation. No,
Yeah,
we no,
I'm
and
scared, bro.
me too. But here's the thing, right?
I got a son, man.
I'm more afraid of the allure of what else they didn't tell you.
Yeah, it builds up. Once one
Right,
secret's kept, and there's gonna be, kids, adults, human beings are gonna have stuff just for them, fine. But like,
right,
I want to be the type of dad where my son comes like, we not friends, but you like, yo, I rock with my dad. Like, that's my pops.
yeah,
Like, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like, yo, I'm about to
yeah,
go holler at my. That's my prayer, and I'm gonna tell you something I'm scared of, man, because we said it last week. Like, we're in an age, and hopefully it shifts by the time he's older, and where kids that live in the suburbs run to the streets. And I've done
mhm,
everything in my power. Like, me and April, we built the foundation in faith prior to having a child. Like, literally
yeah,
in faith.
yeah.
But
Amen.
even with that, I'm starting to second. I'm like, yo, I'm on the internet. My stuff is visible. I've done podcasts. My stories out there. Other people like, and it's not all, you know, hunky dory stuff. And I never want him to emulate or ever get it confused that, which I don't think he would, because there's not anything up here where I'm like glorifying the negativity. But sometimes, man, kids will want to feed into the who their father was, man. You know, and that's something I
No
guess
matter
will
what,
always be on my mind.
Michael Jordan's son isn't exactly doing fantastic in certain scenarios. You know what I mean? Like, there's a part where no matter who you are, your kids idolize you, and then at some point they punish you for the disappointment they have of what you aren't, which means that they might have to work harder for it, and they're really mad about it.
I want to read this comment really quick, bro. He said, "Bro, I watch your videos to keep me right. Did 8 years. I've been out. This is a 7. Lost my dad this year.
Amen.
Life is hard, but the videos keep me right. Thank you." Yo, we up here, man. And hopefully you tune
Absolutely.
in with us every Thursday, 7 p.m. for the Speak Dads Hour, where we have this specific conversation, bro. But I'm serious, bro. I don't know if they call it parental paranoia. Um, I don't know if they call it just being wise to be on point, but man, I don't want my
They call
son.
it fatherhood.
Yeah, you don't want nothing. I want my son to just be
You
a
want
perfect
everything to be
man,
perfect.
like,
Yeah, right. You want
you
him to
want
be
that.
absolutely perfect, but
Yeah,
also tough enough to handle it if he has to. But also,
right. How do you
yeah,
find how
yeah.
do you find the balance? Hey, come on, let's go. But dad, why you got tattoos all over your hands, but you don't want me to get no tattoos?
Okay, then you tell him why.
Yeah,
And you tell him why for real. Yeah,
definitely
that's the
gonna tell
difference. Yeah, you wipe the cute off of it. You know what I mean? You wipe the cool off something and tell your kids like my there's there are many people that help me make better choices in life based on going like, hey, do you want to end up like me in this way? Like, no, I don't. Then don't do this, bro.
them.
All right.
Shout out. I did want to say this. So there was, and shout out to the amazing people that reached out to me and offered to remove all of my tattoos for free. I thought about it. It was random. I
Nice.
just want to speak about it. I did think about it, man.
Nice.
Um, but I'm probably not gonna do it. But I am gonna definitely have those conversations with. Like, I know, like, he's gonna Google me, man. But
Of
he's gonna see
course
a
he
lot of
is.
good stuff though. Like, I'm proud of
Yeah.
you. You look me up. It's good stuff. But still, it's like
Yeah.
prison, man.
Okay.
Some of these kids, and that's why I work so hard. Man, it's not cool, but I don't know, man. My
A
dad
whole
used
lot
to
of
tell me,
people
"Don't go
with
this
checkered
way."
past have done very well, bro.
Yeah, 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 no question. But I was still attracted to some of the things, like the whole reason I became well, as some people would tell me, and you've seen in the comments, became a pretty decent fighter. I don't know if I really ever wanted to be a fighter, but my father was. He was a boxer, so I felt like I needed to go through
Mhm.
that part of life, you know.
Yeah,
And
but
I
you
think,
chose that.
yeah, definitely I did, because I think there was even moments where he tried to not discourage me. He's like, "Yo, you could play baseball, you could do this, you don't."
You're going to give your kid a lot of opportunities, and some of those some unlike what you had or like I had. You know what I mean? That's like my son got a big wheel. Yo,
Yeah.
shout out. You want
Shout out to
you
the
know
big
what?
wheel.
Let me keep it
Shout
1,000.
out to the
Okay.
big. Tell them about the big wheel real quick.
Bro, let me tell you
That
something.
don't move me
I
though.
never had a big wheel, bro.
Me
I
neither.
never we never had a big wheel. I'm from South Philadelphia. I did not have a big wheel. Let me
Me
tell you
neither.
something. My son got one though, and so did my little girl.
That's love.
Put it together and everything. It's the little things,
Love,
man, and that it's those moments that like you get to see differently. But like fatherhood will teach you because you start doing Overwatch all the time. You were like the star player.
bro,
Now you're Overwatch, and you might be the quarterback, but you're Overwatch as well.
bro,
So it's a whole different thing when you're doing that and doing Overwatch. So sometimes, right, in fatherhood longer in fatherhood sometimes you need five and you know that if you must you get four, but there's two things you'll realize: you can always turn that four into five. What you cannot do is get to five if you never get to four, and that part of the difference is making sure that you're at least getting there, right? Because that's four different ways you didn't quit to get to this number five, but you're gonna have to make sure you didn't quit at least four to get to four.
and
You
if
know
you
what I'm
set the
saying?
number at 7, make sure you do 8 that week.
That's what I'm saying. That's
No,
that's the part.
I'm
That's
playing.
you, bro. That's like
No,
that's
not
like
all
when
the time. I
one
don't
of
want
the
to.
things you said was you were like, listen, no matter what, I don't care what, it's going to be every single day of your life. I'm like, okay, every single day. Like, yes, sir.
Yeah,
Okay, cool. That portion of it is literally like, all right, great. But making that effort requires a difference, like you're saying.
right.
So part of whatever effort they're making for being a father or for being a husband means it's going to be different. If you can't look at at your best game and see where it could have been better, then your ego is in the way.
Yeah, no question. You got
You know what I
issues.
mean?
If you think you ain't got nothing else to learn, good Lord Almighty. I'm I'm
Yeah.
I'm in a period now where I'm trying to find time to be a father. Like I'm good at showing up when I'm needed. I
Hmm.
know my shifts and I'm paying attention when my wife when I can actually see that she needs help. I'm intercept. Hey, let me do this. But I gotta get better at actually naturally, organically scheduling family time every day. Right? It doesn't help that my wife's like, "You're in the house with us," because I'll stay back here, send out 16 emails, get on
Play,
14 joints. I want to
play,
be, huh?
play. For the
Yeah, that's
first for no, for the first 4 years of his life.
that's what I'm saying. I gotta
Just
make
play.
time. I gotta be organic about it though. I want to be this. I guess what I'm saying. This is what I want to do. This is what I'm trying to say because it carries over the question you said. Bring in 2026. I want to be able to be like, even though I work for myself, I want to try to stick to office hours or at least close where I got to cut off no matter what. Even if I'm here, I
Mhm.
cut the lights off, I walk out my study, I close the door, family.
Yeah.
I don't want to pick up my phone every 13 seconds because I got to check this. Because I'll be my idea of being present sometimes now is sitting there, right? I'll be on the couch with them, we're chilling, but I'm on my phone working, or I'm looking at this, I'm looking at that, I'm trying to figure out this, I'm trying to figure out that. And that's not what I want to do. I want to intentionally, I want to be more present. I want to make sure that I'm spending time with my family, man. Somebody said they never had a father. I'm like 30. So like, yo, that's why we talking about it right now, man. It's real. A lot of us haven't had fathers. Some of us have been blessed to have fathers. You know what I'm saying? Um, but that's one of the things I want to work on, man. I want to be able to not give the excuse of being present with my family. Say, well, I'm on the couch, movie time. Let's pick out a movie. This is me all day. Let's watch a movie. Everybody's enjoying the movie. I'm working. I'm sending out an email. But I'm telling you, man. So
Yeah. Be a good playmate.
yeah,
It's one of
but
the that's and that like what you're talking about, right? And I said because I said I was like I'm present, I'm here. And one of the things my mom said to me, she's a developmental coach, right? And she goes,
mhm.
"Hey, um, here's the thing, you have to just play with them." I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Be a good playmate. It doesn't matter what they're doing. Play with them. It's their language. Get down, get in front
Yeah,
of them, put
I
the phone
always
over
yeah,
there." And you know what I mean? She's like, if some guy calls in crisis, then answer the phone. But other than that, just play with them. Get down on the ground and play with them. They'll love it.
Yeah. I got some wins today in the toy department. We got, all the, what do they call the toys that develop smart, that's kind
Yeah.
of
Oh
enrichment.
yeah.
I don't know, whatever the words is, but got them this
Oh,
past.
you're doing those? Oh, you
Yeah.
know what? Remind me to get you the exercises.
Okay. Let me know what it is or send me the link or something. Yeah, I'll check it out. But
No, if you send me height and weight specifics, and I'll have Megan get you some for real.
okay, you said
My wife.
exercise? Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, there's all kind of exercise, little stuff to help
Yeah,
you
we're
build into the
learning.
body.
We're doing like tummy time techniques and stuff like that.
Ooh,
One thing I always make time for is in our mornings, our skin to skin, our kangaroo time, daddy son
yeah,
time. Like I do
yeah,
have certain things, and I even want to get to the point where it's not hard to not work. You
yeah.
understand what I'm saying? I like, and I
You want to
know
be the
that.
best dad you possibly can be, and you could always do better.
Yeah, every time I see a movie where it's the dad that like I got to start traveling next month, and I'm like, when I leave now for 4 hours, I it's like I'm dying to get home, man. Like it's like
Yeah.
something just like pulling me
Yes.
back, and I don't feel right until I'm back. And now dad's got to go to work. Dad's got
Hmm.
more work to do. So
Yeah.
that's my plight for 2026. That's what I got to work on. Hopefully, I can win the lottery. Make $1 million or
Hey, I
something.
played. If I hit tonight, listen, we're both
Let
retiring
me know.
this.
I'll play. I don't
You know,
even
I
play. I'll
promise
tell
you.
me when to play, and then
I just I played. If I hit, listen, you're gonna two things. You're coming down to Florida. We're gonna retire. We're gonna have a massive men's mental health group.
we're talking.
Promise. And
We're
recovery center.
shout out to my wife who comes to me and asked me if we want to move to Mexico. I said, she's like, well, we can move. Your family's all down there because half my
Nice.
family's in Mexico. She's like, yo, you work from your phone. I'm like, are you serious? She's like, let's do something crazy.
Okay. There you go.
That's what that was my. I
I
said, I said, okay,
like, all right, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
all
against.
right. That's
Hey, I'm all about doing the things that are least expected and getting the experience. So, but
listen.
hey,
Gives me a place to go visit Mexico. I'm with it. I promise.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, listen, when we go down there, it's gonna be about a list of probably around 15 people I can think of in my head that are
Right?
preferred
Like
clients.
you can find me outside. It's like when I moved to Florida. People are like, where do you live? I'm like Florida. Well,
Right,
where though? Just in Florida though. But yeah,
near. I'm near here, near
yeah,
there.
like
I'm near the
kind of at
water.
the center. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Not even wherever you think I'm at, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, kind
Shout
of.
out, shout out to Florida, by the way.
Mhm.
I went to. I got a shout out there. I met a gentleman down there in St. Petersburg, man. Gentleman, he was a vet. He was a homeless veteran. Hopefully, he got help at the time, but I remember him simply telling me, he said, "Man, if I can be happy and I
Yeah,
can stand here with a genuine smile on my face with nowhere to live, but this sand that's underneath my feet, this is where I read." He said, "You can find a reason to be happy every day."
yes,
And I said, you got a point there, man. So
absolutely,
I like Florida,
absolutely.
man. Florida's all right, you know.
Hmm.
Um,
It's a good time.
Elliot, I appreciate the conversation, man. I appreciate that. I see y'all in the chats. Merry Christmas to everybody, man. Um,
Hmm.
if you don't celebrate the holidays again, man, I hope and he hopes that your days are blessed. You and your family are doing
Absolutely.
well. We're all getting ready to bring in a new year. Today we talked about intentions. We talked about when to be on point with our children. We talked about a lot
Mhm.
of stuff, man. If you appreciate conversations like this, please, please, please don't hesitate to message either myself, Mr. Elliot Raphael, but more
100%.
importantly, you can just look up Speak Dads. Just look that up, and then you will be able to get connected to us. But
Mhm.
I promise you, we're here. It's more than conversation. Uh, Mr. Elliot Raphael, I like saying his whole name if y'all haven't told. He's created a platform that's unique because it's providing assistance and support in a time where it's really needed for men because about 2,000 men a day unfortunately decided they no longer want to be here. So it's really, really important that if you have a loved
Mhm.
one in your life, because you may not be a man, well, it's not me. You might got a brother, nephew, cousin, somebody. Tell them to holler at us, or you holler at us, and then we'll connect the dots. You know what I'm
100%.
saying? We have things
Anytime.
outside of this space. There's a supportive platform. There's other things where you can get support, and then you can get on into conversations with people directly. If you're going through something, My thing before you ask Mr. Elliott to close out, is if you need help, please get it. I know that this is a time of year where it's extremely tough. It's not merry for everyone. Some people have lost loved ones, and there's a whole bunch of other situations and reminders. But I want to tell y'all, life is worth living, and there's a whole bunch of experiences and people that you have not crossed paths with or had an experience to live yet that are waiting for you. That literally, there's people that are going to be impacted by you surviving these moments right now. You just got to cross paths with them, and how you do that is you keep going. And there's help here,
Amen.
there's help in other spaces. It's not just here. And that's it, man. I want to see y'all keep going, keep growing. And I know firsthand how hard and heavy it can get, but we got this. Elliot,
Amen.
what's your words, man? What's your close out for this
I
wonderful
tell you
Thursday?
what, if you do nothing else, give yourself credit for the practice. No matter what you've been through, you've got past practice. That means you have what you need to go through the next portion of it. It's only the first time once. No matter what it is, you got to keep going. Loss in life is a choice. That's simple and easy. So if you choose not to lose, then at least keep showing up. And the rest will be the scoreboard. Take a look at it later, but keep going.
Facts. That's it, man. That's all till next Thursday, 7 p.m. Yes, we will probably most definitely. I know I will be. I don't go to the parties and all that. I am in the house regardless.
Yeah, I do a whole lot of hangout at the
Yep,
Stewart Walls. You
I'm
may know.
inside. So if y'all want to hang out with us on the live
Mhm.
next Thursday, 7
Oh,
p.m.,
yeah.
we are here having conversations as always. If you got questions, specific things you want us to respond to, topics that you want us to discuss, please make sure you message us, get us that, and we will definitely get on that, man. Till next time, this is Speak Dads, and please check us out, see what's going on, so you get more
Absolutely.
information on the movement.